Okay, we are starting now with a chapter which in your textbook is named as Transition and Inner Transition Elements, and whose official JEE, NEET or NCRT or even our textbook till last year, the name was D block and F block elements. It is the same thing. You can see D block are transition elements and F block are inner transition elements. The topics are what is there in HSC are almost of the same level as JEE and NEET, except maybe only one point which is different. Otherwise, the entire topic is of the same level in all the exams. So whatever I'm covering here, you will find same thing in your JEE, NEET, CET, HSC everywhere. The level is not high or lower than what we are doing. Common topic for everyone, I can say. So the first part which we are going to start is the transition elements. That means D block element study. Now, as we know, transition elements belong to the D block of the periodic table. I hope everyone remembers periodic table has four blocks in it, that is S, P, D, and F. So from the periodic table, we are currently going to focus on this central part of the system. We had already studied S block. We have already studied P block in two sections, 13, 14, 15, one chapter, 16, 17, 18, another chapter. Now it is the turn to study the D block, and after completing D block, we go for F block. So at the end of this chapter, your entire periodic table study will be over, and you should be able to write periodic table as it is entirely. Okay, I'll be taking one test of just writing the periodic table with you, so that at least you know all the elements correctly in a sequence, group wise, of course. Now, these elements are also, as you know, known by the name transition metal atoms. Now, why are they called transition metal? Anybody can answer. Why D block elements are called transition
Because they
elements?
exhibit variable valency.
No.
They show
Variable valency, recollect now, not from your 10th standard, but 11th standard, 12th standard knowledge. Variable valency is shown by even phosphorus, arsenic,
Yes.
germanium,
Because
chlorine.
they are transition between S and P blocks like
Very good. Correct. In with respect to what transition?
properties.
properties.
Properties. That's correct. You see, S block elements are perfectly metals. P block may you start with metal, in between you have metalloid, and you slowly go to non-metals. So these are the elements which are showing intermediate property between metals on left hand side, non-metals on right hand side. That is why they are called transition. So there is a transition, there is a change from one property to the other. In fact, not only metallic, so many properties you will find, ionization, enthalpy, and everything. You will find it is in between S and P block always. Right? Any doubt about this much part before we go ahead? Let us now perfectly take their positions, name, symbols, configuration. That's the initial part now. You can see the D block elements are present between group number 3 to 12. Now recollect once again, group 1 and group 2 were S block, 13 to 18 are P block, and group number 3 to 12 are D block. They are not present in group period number 1 to 3. So they are present from period number 4, 5, 6, and 7, rest of the periodic table. Now their general configuration is written as the corresponding inert gas, as we write like krypton or argon like that. N minus 1 D, 1 to 10, NS 2. What does this number indicate? If they are present in fourth period, the value of N will be 4, orbital of D will be 3D. If the element is present in fifth period, it will belong to 4D and 5S. So the period number is the number of N. So the elements which you see here are these elements. Out of that, I'm sure everyone knows about the first transition series set: scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. Now, when you see this one, what will be the configuration of these elements? Can anyone tell me? General configuration in terms of this n-1 and n. What numbers shall I use for the
2d,
Mhm.
3
2p
ns2.
orbital होता है क्या कभी? These are present in fourth period.
sorry, 4.
So this will be 3d and
3d
4s.
4s.
Same way, yttrium
5d.
series what you see will be 4d and 5s.
Yes.
The lanthanum series what you see is 5d and 6s. And the actinium series what you see is this way. Now also observe something over here. 57 lanthanum. And you can see next is 72 directly. 58 to 71 are going to be the lanthanide series, lanthanide F block elements. Same way here you can see 90 to 103 are going to be the actinide elements. So those we are going to study separately as the second section of the topic, F block elements. Go through this. Any doubt before we go ahead for the elements and configuration? Every point which I'm showing on the slide, you have to know by heart, because in this topic, you get very simple objective questions, even in JE also. So this kind of configuration and all, they ask you, but only thing they will ask you with respect to particular elements. So you should know the positions of all the elements also. So not only scandium wala series, you have to know all the series by heart. So scandium series, yttrium series, lanthanum series, actinium series completely should be by heart.
Sir,
Huh.
so in the electronic configuration, 4s will come before 3d, right? If we write it like,
Yes, correct. The
Yeah.
Aufbau principle wise, when you write, we follow that way. Correct. So let us begin now with individual series now. So first we go for details of 3D series. We have to do configuration of all the series in syllabus. So atomic numbers are 21. First is scandium. Now, as we know, scandium, before scandium, number 20 is calcium. And calcium goes as 4s2. So after 4s2, which comes up to 20, 21st electron goes here in 3D. I hope you remember this from structure of atom chapter 11 standard. So next configuration, titanium electron will be filled in 3D again. So it is 3d2 4s2. When it comes to vanadium, it is 3d3. When it comes to chromium, if you remember, this goes actually for 3d4 4s2. You see 3d3, afterwards it should be 3d4.
It becomes 3d5 4.
But you know, as a 3d orbital is going to become half filled, it will transfer one electron from 4s to 3d. So the actual configuration comes as 3d5 4s1. This small thing is asked like a give reason question in HSC or true or false question in JEE and NEET. So facts are same, only way of asking question differs. Next, we come to 25 manganese. Now 3d5 has come. 3d5 is a very stable configuration, half filled state. So the element will not lose that state easily. So the next electron is gone to 4s. 3d5 is a very stable state. It doesn't want to lose it. So on the pretext that 4s is the outermost orbital, the next electron is given to 4s. Now, when you come to 26 iron, there is no choice. The electron has to go in 3D only. So it is now 3d6 4s2. Now cobalt, just the play begins, 3d6, 3d7, 3d8. Now the expected is 3d9. Once again, to make completely filled orbital, which is more stable, electron from 4s will get promoted back to 3d.
3d10 4s1.
4s1. And last, zinc, no choice. It is 3d10 4s2. I hope everyone recollects this very simple thing. अभी हम लोग
sir,
हाँ बोल.
sir, which is the outermost orbital then? Sir, if we write,
Outermost is coming from the principal quantum number. So fourth shell is outermost shell.
oh,
So outermost is always 4s. Aufbau principle wise, energy wise, 4s is inside, 3d is higher level.
So we write the electronic configuration according to this, right? 4s should be outside.
You can write in any way, it doesn't make a difference. You can write in
Oh.
any way. If you want, if you are comfortable, you can say argon 4s to 3d1, no problem at all. You can write that way. In textbooks, they write it like this, considering number 3 and 4, like that, or orbit wise. So 3d shell comes first, fourth shell comes later. So anyway, if you write, it's perfectly correct. Shall we go ahead? Everyone okay with this? Let us come to the 4D series now. That is 39. Things are quite similar. Only here, instead of the inert gas argon, we have now krypton. 4D1 5s2, zirconium 4D2 5s2, niobium 4D4 5s1. Now, as we go down in 4D series, 5D series, they have not given much details of the reasons why shifting occurs. जैसे chromium copper में बोला था, they have not explained it here. But overall, reasons are quite similar. Whenever you find that a shift of electron takes place, it is basically that the orbital is going to become half-filled, or it has become half-filled, going to become completely filled, or it has become completely filled. Now, somewhere you find that, जैसे हम लोग ने क्रोमियम में देखा था, क्रोमियम में it was 3d5, यहाँ पे आप देखोगे हाफ फिल्ड है नहीं. But as you go higher and higher, orbitals are quite nearby. So shift becomes much before even it becomes half filled. So we will not go in details of those reasons and all everywhere because it becomes too much for the syllabus. So just remember, wherever out of the way configuration you can see. Now you can see this is half filled. So after 4D, here 4D electron has come. Next, technetium you have is 4d6. Then ruthenium, it is 4d7. Then it is rhodium 4d8. Palladium, now you can see here, this is a very special configuration. You can observe 5s में electron ही नहीं है इसमें. So here the one electron from 5s was transferred and the new next electron also comes. As I said, common reason everywhere where you see these special configurations is to attain special stability. That's the basic reason. Then silver you have is 4d10 and 5s1. And last cadmium you have 4d10, 5s2. Wherever there is a jump or a special configuration, I am just highlighting it with red. So if you see, if you remember that configuration, next you can write on your own. So for example, you see 1, 2, 3 नहीं है, देखो 4 है यहाँ पे, आप लोग ये याद रखो. तो बाद में आप लिख सकते हो 5, 6, 7, 8. Then highlight this 10, वो तो भर गया, फिर 0, 1, 2. So if you remember these points in between, the entire writing of table is not difficult. Okay, ये elements, I doubt everyone knows about these elements or not. So I'm just writing this when you get this PDF or in the notes also I've given already. Yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silver, and cadmium. I hope that scandium wala table everyone knew. So those spellings and all I have not repeated here, although they are there in our printed notes. This was 4D series configuration. Let us go for 5D series now. Lanthanum. Now after krypton, next comes xenon. 5D1 6s2. Now hafnium is going to be an element coming after you completely filled 4f orbital. So actually speaking, यहाँ पर 4f14 प्रेजेंट है, लेकिन वो उन्होंने डी ब्लॉक का चैप्टर है, इसके लिए वो पहले वाला स्टेट नहीं दिखाया है, and it doesn't concern as such in the configuration. But remember, xenon 4f14 5d2 6s2 ऐसे configuration है. Next after that comes tantalum 5d3, tungsten 5d4, rhenium 5d5. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि there is no jump of electron anywhere happening. Out of the way configuration देखो यहाँ पे है नहीं, जैसे कॉपर में क्रोमियम में हो रहा था, वो सेकंड पार्ट में आएगा यहाँ पर। ऑस्मियम में 6, इरिडियम में 7, प्लैटिनम नाउ कम्स द जंप. So 1 from 6s has taken place and 9th electron comes. Once again gold में it is 10 and mercury it is proper. So यहाँ पे एक ही special configuration था platinum वाला. Let us revise the name symbol spellings of the elements. Lanthanum, hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, rhenium, osmium, iridium, platinum, gold and mercury. Any doubt in any of these things?
So won't lanthanum be 71?
Lanthanum is not a F block element. Lanthanum is a D block element. Lanthanum is not a lanthanide. 58 cerium is a first lanthanide. That's why it doesn't have any F electrons. F orbital electron begins from 58, ends at 71. Next we have, bolo.
In that the 74th one,
74 tungsten,
so in tungsten, won't there be a shift?
That's what I'm
in
saying.
that?
So every element, the things are different. That completely depends on which orbital to which orbital, which shell to which shell it transfers. It depends on atomic size, lot of factors. So इतना detail हम लोग ये series का आपके syllabus में नहीं कर रहे 12th के. ये सब details BSc में होता है जहाँ पे हर एक series का उनको chapter है. तो वो 12th standard में इतना आपके mainly detail 3D series का सिर्फ है. आपको ये बाकी का series सिर्फ configuration करना है. Why that happens उतना detail 12th में नहीं है. Higher level they do those details. So 6D series we begin. These are quite recent elements like actinium 6D17S2. Now 103 तक आपका actinide series आएगा. Rutherfordium 6D2, dubnium 6D3, seaborgium 64, borium 65, hassium 66, meitnerium 67, dermstadium 68, roentgenium 6010, and copernicium 6010-7s2. So most of these elements perhaps are new for you. Actinium, Rutherfordium, most of them are scientist names. You can see Rutherford, Ernest Rutherford, dubnium, seaborgium, borium, hassium, meitnerium, dermstadium, roentgenium, copernicium. कौन से साइंटिस्ट के नाम सुने आप लोगों ने and which theories? Rutherford is famous. Yeah. Then Seaborg, Glenn Theodore Seaborg, who synthesized elements in laboratory, and he single-handedly made almost entire actinide series by nuclear transmutation reaction. So पूरा series almost एक ही आदमी ने बनाया actinide series, except one or two last उसने नहीं बनाया, बाकी majority. So Seaborg, Glenn Seaborg, उससे नाम पे दिया है Seaborgium. Bohr, I hope you understand.
Roentgen.
Meitner, Lise Meitner was a German scientist who discovered how when you bombard an atomic bomb, nuclear bomb, how much energy is released from it. So scientist लोगों को E equal to mc square पता था, लेकिन वो actual nuclear bomb में, atom bomb में कैसे use होता है, उसका equation value experimentally कैसे find करना है, ये सब ये scientist ने बताया. लीजे मेटनर, who was working, she was actually a German scientist, but working for US government. So lady nuclear scientist, Lise Meitner, Meitnerium. Darmstadt, a place in Russia where this element was discovered. Roentgen, Wilhelm Roentgen, who discovered X-rays. And Copernicus, first person who said that Earth revolves around sun and sun does not revolve around Earth as Bible says. And he was taken into custody and everything. He was before Galileo, and he was abandoned and abolished from the world and all these things. Copernicus, first person to discover Earth revolution and sun's revolution. So from his different things, his name is given, Copernicus, Copernicium. Chalo, let us come to the once again summary of all those elements which are showing out of the way configuration. आपको सब एलिमेंट एक साथ देखना है यहाँ पे. 3D सीरीज में से कौन स्पेशल एलिमेंट्स थे? कॉपर एंड क्रोमियम. From 4D series, we saw two elements, niobium and palladium. Then from 5D series, we saw only platinum. And from 6D series, we saw only roentgenium. ये 6 एलिमेंट्स को छोड़ के बाकी सब एलिमेंट प्रॉपर फीलिंग फॉलो कर रहे हैं. So if you remember these special points, you can remember the entire configuration very easily. NEET students should remember it maximum. जेई में बहुत कम बार क्वेश्चन पूछा है कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का. एक बार शायद इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली सम 2015 में एक बार पूछा था, गैडोलिनियम का कॉन्फ़िगरेशन आया था एफ ब्लॉक एलिमेंट में, लेकिन बाकी उन्होंने पूछा नहीं. लेकिन नीट वालों को काफी सारे बार पूछा है उन्होंने कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, इजी क्वेश्चन. एचएससी में तो लगभग हर साल आता है, राइट कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ऑफ सो एंड सो, राइट. सो इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन एज सच. आपको एज सच पूरे चैप्टर में 3D सीरीज ही ज्यादा करके ध्यान में रखना है, बाकी सीरीज हम लोग को नहीं है. ओके, हम लोग अभी तक यूज कर रहे हैं वर्ड ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स, और आप लोगों ने मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन बताया सबसे स्टार्टिंग में, ट्रांजिशन फ्रॉम द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ एस ब्लॉक एंड पी ब्लॉक. That was, I accepted it because it was a school level definition. What is the real definition of transition elements? You will be shocked to hear that it's totally different. You know, the transition elements are precisely defined as those elements which have incompletely filled d sub level in their atoms or in their ions having oxidation state +2 +3 whatever. अभी ये डेफिनेशन आपको स्कूल में दे ही नहीं सकते, क्योंकि आपने डी सब लेवल डी ऑर्बिटल स्कूल में नहीं किया होता है. इसलिए आपको वो छोटा बच्चों को समझने वाला डेफिनेशन देते हैं, एस ब्लॉक पी ब्लॉक के बीच का प्रॉपर्टी. नाउ ऑनवर्ड्स, दिस मोमेंट ऑनवर्ड्स, प्लीज फॉरगेट दैट डेफिनेशन. और कोई पूछेंगे तो आपको ये डेफिनेशन बताना है. द एलिमेंट्स which have incompletely filled d orbital either in their atoms or in the ions in their commonly oxidation states. Let us take example of group 12 elements. Those are zinc, cadmium, mercury and copernicium. अभी ये सब में आप देख सकते हो, सब जगह पे N-1D10 प्रेजेंट है और NS2 प्रेजेंट है. अभी ये सब चारों एलिमेंट्स का यूजुअल कॉमन ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट रहता है +2. दैट मीन्स दे कैन लूज ओनली ns इलेक्ट्रॉन्स and they can never lose d orbital electrons. That is why these 4 elements are not transition elements. They are called only d block elements. So अभी आप ध्यान से देखो, आपके हर एक सीरीज में 10 elements were there. Total 4 series are present. So there are 40 d block elements. But if somebody asks you how many transition elements, answer is 36. 40 minus these 4, these are going to be transition elements. And henceforth, remember 2 different words, transition elements and d block elements. इसलिए आप लोगों के चैप्टर का नाम GTB में लिखा है ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स, क्योंकि हम लोग ये चारों एलिमेंट्स का स्टडी नहीं करने वाले हैं. दे आर गोइंग टू स्टडी ओनली टिल कॉपर 29 बेसिकली, क्योंकि इसका स्टडी एकदम अलग है, बिहेवियर इज डिफरेंट. गो थ्रू दिस होल आंसर. एनी डाउट प्लीज आस्क मी. So let us go ahead now with, this is just a factual information. The new GTB has not given this table. It's there in NCERT and it was there in old GTB. बाकी सब एलिमेंट जो है स्कैंडियम, टाइटेनियम, उनके ओर्स के पर्टिकुलरली फॉर्मूले नहीं दिए हैं. So I have only selected the formulae which you need. This table is only for JEE and NEET people. HSC students can ignore this.
Sir,
बोलो.
sir, platinum also cannot lose na that D block because they have one S block. No?
Yes, that's correct. लेकिन प्लैटिनम में हायर स्टेट में it can transfer an electron from D to S and then can lose it. It has been found that way. So platinum is not taken into this particular consideration.
So sir, directly you can't remove an
Directly you
electron
can,
from D.
मतलब है ही नहीं उसमें, इलेक्ट्रॉन ही नहीं है, करेक्ट. सो लेकिन हायर स्टेट में प्लैटिनम +4 जब आता है तो वो लॉस कर सकता है, ऐसे उन्होंने डिस्कवर किया. प्लैटिनम केमिस्ट्री इज बिट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड एंड इवन मर्क्यूरी केमिस्ट्री इज बिट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. That is not at our level.
So when gold also will be similarly, no?
No, gold can lose electrons, of course.
So but then when the configuration is 5D10, na?
Check,
And
check. ये गोल्ड लूज कर सकता है. सी ऐसे नहीं है कि 5D10 है मतलब वो लॉस नहीं करेगा, बिल्कुल नहीं. वैसे देखेगा तो आई एम गोइंग बैक फॉर अ मोमेंट. चेक कॉपर, बरोबर ना.
yes sir.
कॉपर भी 3D10 है, लेकिन कॉपर +1 दिखाएगा तो वो ये 4s1 लॉस करता है, और कॉपर के +2 में 3D9 हो जाता है. So copper, it's not as per 3D10 whether it loses or not. So copper can lose despite of 3D10, but zinc does not lose at all. So they have found only these two where this happens. Sorry, the 4, these elements, not beyond that. And platinum is like, I can say, exceptional case. Sure. Let us see now some general characteristics. First, some simple ones, and then we'll go in details of it. First, we say that metallic nature. As we know, all the D block elements are metal. Whether you consider transition or without transition, all are metals only. They show regular metallic property, high tensile strength, ductility, malleability, good conductors of heat and electricity, luster. वो तो सब normal properties जैसे दिखेंगे. Then they are all very hard elements, very dense elements also, and volatility is less. Volatility मतलब boiling point, vapor pressure. So उनका evaporate होना, melt होना, boil होना almost बहुत high temperature पे होता है. Here also you can see, देखो कौन से element bracket में लिखा है, देखो exception, that is group 12 elements जो अपने transition elements नहीं है, zinc, cadmium, mercury. Okay. चौथा एलिमेंट हम लोग मेंशन नहीं करेंगे, कोपरनीशियम, क्वाइट अ रिसेंटली डिस्कवर्ड एलिमेंट, और उसके प्रॉपर्टीज काफी सारे अभी तक पता नहीं है, सो इट्स नॉट मेंशन एनीवेयर. Now, variable oxidation state is another property which you must have studied in 10th standard, that they show a lot many oxidation states. ऐसे क्यों होता है? Because they can lose electron from ns orbital, they can lose some electrons from the d orbital. So 3-4 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट दिखाना उनको मतलब रेगुलर काम है उनका. Except zinc, cadmium and mercury, they will show only one oxidation state +2. हम लोग ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट
Mercury
पर
shows 2 now, man.
mercury shows +1 and +2, but
Yeah.
+1 is unstable.
Okay.
+1 is unstable. और अगर जो +1 हो जाता है तो mercury forms a bond with another mercury, just like peroxide, and it becomes Hg2 2+. So Hg+1, Hg+1 हो गया Hg2 2+. So that is considered once again unstable state only. Oxidation state हम लोग वैसे भी बहुत डिटेल में करने वाले हैं. Okay, now this particular thing right now perhaps you will not understand. These are the names of the solid crystalline lattice known as hexagonal close pack, body centered cubic and so on. अभी फिलहाल हम लोग ने सॉलिड स्टेट चैप्टर नहीं किया, अभी सॉल्यूशन खत्म होगा तो हम लोग सॉलिड स्टेट चालू करने वाले. There you will be doing the whole topic about these things. Currently you can only know from the colors I have used here that scandium to chromium आप लोग देखेंगे तो मेजॉरिटी देखो ये आइदर HCP या BCC स्ट्रक्चर में जा रहा है. Then manganese and iron में it goes in HCP majority. Cobalt, nickel, copper goes in CCP, and zinc, cadmium, mercury don't have a fixed structure. क्रॉस मिला है मतलब फिक्स स्ट्रक्चर. मर्क्यूरी तो लिक्विड है, इसके लिए स्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं है. इसके डिटेल हम लोग आज नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि आपको ये चीज ही पता नहीं है. तो सॉलिड स्टेट में भी ये फिर से टेबल रिपीटेड है वो टॉपिक में, तो हम लोग तभी वो डिटेल में देखेंगे.
Can it be used as HCB?
Hexagonal close pack, body centered cubic, cubic close pack. So there are different states of crystalline lattice. Don't worry about it. Magnetic property. As you know that these elements are metals, so most of them are paramagnetic in nature. Some of them are even ferromagnetic. In fact, the word ferro comes from iron only, ferrous. So what is the difference in para and ferromagnetism? Paramagnetism are what you call in school level as weakly magnetic. So if you take a substance and if you apply external magnetic field, it will get magnetized. It will show magnetic property. जैसे आप एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड को निकाल दोगे, उसका मैग्नेटिज्म बंद हो जाएगा, खत्म हो जाएगा. Ferromagnetic is that substance which shows magnetism whether external magnetic field is there or not there. So they are called in our daily language as permanent magnet. And paramagnetic means they become magnetic only in presence of external strong magnetic field. So वो permanent नहीं है. जब external magnetic field आएगा तभी अपना magnetism दिखाएंगे. नहीं है तो नहीं है, ठीक है, वो ऐसे ही बैठे रहेंगे. Next, complex formation. By complex we mean coordinate bonds. And transition elements are the first member where they form coordinate complexes. अपना ये चैप्टर खत्म होने के बाद हम लोग नेक्स्ट टॉपिक करने वाले हैं कोऑर्डिनेशन. सो वो पूरा टॉपिक ही डी ब्लॉक पर बेस्ड है, इसलिए हम लोग ये पहले ले रहे हैं, इमीडिएटली उसको कनेक्टेड वो ले लेंगे. कैटालिटिक प्रॉपर्टी. आप लोग जितना कोई कैटालिस्ट सुनते हो कहीं पे भी, दे आर ऑल मोस्टली ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स ओनली. आपने अभी तक जितने कैटालिस्ट सुने, सोच के देखो, वो आपको इसी टेबल में दिखेंगे.
Yes.
निकल,
Yes, sir.
निकल, प्लेटिनम, पैलेडियम. आप नॉर्मल जो कैटालिस्ट ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में आते हैं, एवरीवन इज डी ब्लॉक ओनली. अभी ये जब जो एक एक प्रॉपर्टी हम लोग ने सुना है, कैटालिस्ट, मैग्नेटिक, ऑक्सीडेशन, एवरीथिंग, अभी हर एक को हम लोग डिटेल में करते जाएंगे. दैट इज अवर टॉपिक. सो एक्सेप्शनल फॉर ग्रुप 12 बिहेवियर वी सी, वही जो हम लोग ने पहले किया था. एंड गो थ्रू दिस आंसर ऑन योर ओन. इफ यू रिमेंबर, एस ब्लॉक में और पी ब्लॉक में हम लोग हमेशा एक आंसर करते थे, एनोमिलस प्रॉपर्टी. हर एक ग्रुप का सबसे ऊपर वाला एलिमेंट अलग बिहेवियर दिखाता था. वैसे ट्रांजिशन एलिमेंट्स में, डी ब्लॉक एलिमेंट में, ग्रुप 12 इज दैट काइंड ऑफ मेंबर. ग्रुप 3 to 11 एक प्रॉपर ग्रेडेशन दिखाएंगे और ग्रुप 12 सबसे अलग बिहेवियर दिखाएगा. यहां पे आपको, सिंस आपको सिर्फ 3D सीरीज का स्टडी है, जिंक का एग्जांपल्स यहां पे दिखा है. ऐसे ही सिमिलर प्रॉपर्टीज कैडमियम, मर्क्यूरी आल्सो शो, but we don't have in our course. These answers come like short notes, give kind of questions for you.
So these are the only exceptions, sir.
Yes, zinc shows only exceptional. These are the exception. इसके अलग property, that means group 3 to 11. You can see fourth property also. This is the only diamagnetic element. Rest all are paramagnetic, even ferro. Variable oxidation state not there. All the compounds of all transition elements are always colorful. Zinc, all compounds are white. Have you seen any white compound of zinc anytime, anywhere? जो आप लोग ने शायद डेली लाइफ में देखा है, जो जिंक का कंपाउंड है. In fact, I will say two compounds, two famous compounds. Perhaps you do not know that it is a zinc compound. अच्छा, सब लोगों ने now ये नाम सुना है सब लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And I am not referring to radium atomic number 88 to 26 from periodic table. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what You people used to call radium perhaps in your watches.
Oh yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Indian लोग ना ये हमेशा बात करते हैं, which is a totally wrong science. It's not at all radium. It shows radiation in watches. That's why people in India call it radium. वो बिल्कुल रेडियम एलिमेंट नहीं होता है. दिस इज जो अपने वॉच में आपको देखा रहेगा कि मार्किंग रहता है 12369 का, और आप अगर सपोज यू गो टू अ थिएटर समवेयर डार्कनेस, दीज थिंग्स ग्लो आउट, राइट? इसको लोग अपने बॉम्बे में तो स्पेशली रेडियम बोलते हैं. दिस कंपाउंड इज जिंक सल्फाइड. Zinc sulfide has a property of glowing in
Fluorescent
darkness.
properties, no?
Perfect. That is called in physics or chemistry as phosphorescence. Phosphorescence. Fluorescence and phosphorescence में difference होता है. For fluorescence, you need light. So you see fluorescent colors, fluorescent posters आप देखते हो.
It is
वो आप-
luminescent.
Luminescence के दो type है, phosphorescence and fluorescence. Fluorescence happens in light. आपको सनलाइट में फ्लोरोसेंट कलर दिखेगा. फॉस्फोरेसेंस हैपेंस इन डार्कनेस. दोनों को बोलते हैं टुगेदर नाम ल्यूमिनेसेंस. तो जिंक सल्फाइड इज दैट. अच्छा, ये दूसरा ऐसे ही कंपाउंड लेकिन वॉचेस में यूज नहीं होता है. दैट इज जिंक सल्फेट. ये कहां पे यूज होता है? आप लोग जब हाईवेज पे जाते हो रात को, और रात को कोई लाइट नहीं होता किसी बड़े बड़े हाईवेज में, तो आप देख सकते हो कि रोड के मार्किंग्स व्हाइट कलर के आपको दिखाई देते हैं. जेब्रा क्रॉसिंग आपको दिखता है, करेक्ट? ये सब व्हाइट पेंट में जिंक सल्फेट ऐड करते हैं. दैट ऑल्सो व्हेन द कार लाइट हेडलाइट कम्स ऑन इट, इट ग्लोज. सो ये जिंक के दोनों कंपाउंड आप देख सकते हो, दोनों व्हाइट कलर के हैं, एंड बोथ हैव प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ आइदर फ्लोरोसेंस और फॉस्फोरेसेंस. राइट? नाउ प्लीज नेवर यूज दिस वर्ड रेडियम एनी टाइम. इट्स अ फॉस्फोरेसेंट कलर यूज्ड. रेडियम बच्चों को बोलने के लिए होता है. रेडियम इज द नेम ऑफ एलिमेंट. So I hope for zinc.
Can you back to the whites?
Arey, don't take a screenshot of that nonsense. Just remember it. Don't waste your time. Chalo, now we begin with periodic trend, periodic property. As usual, we start with first one, हमेशा जैसा atomic radius. अभी एक डिफरेंस याद रखो, हम लोग अभी दो टाइप का स्टडी करेंगे. एक तो 3D सीरीज के अंदर क्या होता है वो भी देखेंगे, and some properties we are going to study as 3D 4D 5D what happens सीरीज में. So दोनों टाइप आपको सिलेबस में है. First point, the atomic radius of all transition element obviously are between S block and P block. Now if you see this particular graph, शांति से आराम से देखो, ये स्कैंडियम टू जिंक ग्राफ है, ग्रीन कलर का लाइन, ये नीचे वाला. Bluish dotted line is of second series, yttrium वाला, and the red one is third one. What are your observations? You tell me, then we will see what are textbook observations. आपको जो दिखता है वो मुझे बोलो. Within a series, comparison of series, आपको जो बोलना है बोलो, no problem. Let us see. What are your observations? Observe a graph, comment.
Mostly it decreases down the group and then increases after some time.
Yes, correct. And where do you find almost the increase starts? Almost.
Copper, sorry, CO,
यहाँ पे
RH and
cobalt,
IR.
यहाँ पे कोबाल्ट है, यहाँ पे रुदेनियम रोडियम के बाद है, यहाँ पे देखो ऑस्मियम इरिडियम के बाद है. सो ऑलमोस्ट यू कैन सी, इफ यू सी टेक्निकली, जब हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल कंप्लीट होता है मैंगनीज के बाद, देन द इंक्रीज स्टार्ट्स. रफली दे से आफ्टर मिडवे इंक्रीज स्टार्ट्स, रफली, नॉट एग्जैक्टली, आफ्टर मिडवे. ओके, एनी अदर ऑब्जर्वेशन? व्हाट यू सेड इज करेक्ट, ये करेक्ट ऑब्जर्वेशन है. नेक्स्ट बोलो. और आप लोग ग्राफ पर से याद रखोगे ना, आपको पॉइंट्स बाय हार्ट हो जाएंगे.
Atomic size decreases.
That's what we said, na? Atomic size, in first it decreases, then it increases.
Correct.
Nuclear charge.
No, 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 no. We are not going for reasons. 3D,
So it
4D,
is-
5D में क्या दिख रहा है? 3D size of all the atoms will be smallest. लेकिन 4D is higher, but in 5D the increase is not very much. You see, देखो 3D के बाद 4D का difference देखो. तो ये 5D है जो ऊपर यहां तक आना चाहिए था, वो एकदम नीचे है. तो 5D series increase is not very much compared to 4D series, right? So first observation, atomic radius of d block element decreases with increasing atomic number, but the decrease is small after midway. In fact, there is a rise towards the end. More, also at the end of the series, once again, there is a slight increase observed. So जैसे कॉपर जिंक में इंक्रीज है, यहाँ पे सिल्वर कैडमियम में है, यहाँ पे गोल्ड मर्क्यूरी में राइज है. Then 3D series is much smaller than 4D, और 4D 5D में ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. इनफैक्ट दोनों को ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल वैल्यूज ही रहते हैं, राइट? 4D and 5D series, the things happen similarly because of what is known as lanthanoid's contraction effect. अभी ये क्या इफेक्ट है हम लोग ऑफ कोर्स लैंथेनाइड चैप्टर में ही देखेंगे. सो राइट नाउ जस्ट रिमेंबर इट लाइक अ टर्म. Now we few reasons we do, not in too much detail. Why atomic radius decreases, आपको पता है, वही रीजन है, nothing different. I am showing this, go through it. स्क्रीनिंग इफेक्ट, इफेक्टिव न्यूक्लियर चार्ज, वही पुराना सब स्टोरी है, फिर से लिखा है. जो सबसे लास्ट शेल होता है, सबसे लास्ट, उसे कहते हैं अल्टीमेट. और उसके पहले का जो शेल होता है उसे कहते हैं पेनल्टीमेट. अपने इंडियन इंग्लिश में इसे कहते हैं सेकंड लास्ट. लास्ट, सेकंड लास्ट. Remember, there are no such English words called second last and third last. In good English, there are no such words. These are Indian English words. Any doubt in this? You can ask me. Done? Shall we go ahead? जैसे atomic radius किया है वैसे ही ionic radius. Now you can see there are some points where dash is put. That means those ions are unstable in that oxidation state. So उनका data available नहीं है. Okay, now if you see this M indicates these are the atomic radii. These are +2 radii and these are +3 radius. So you can see first observation, ionic radii obviously are going to be smaller than the original atom. Always we know cations have smaller radius than the parent atom. Then also you can see, which is common sense, +2 oxidation state mein radius will be larger than +3. Pick up anywhere and check. 8262, 8265, 7765, and so on. So this is small information about ionic radius. Okay, any doubt? Go through it once. Next we have is melting point property. Simple one comparatively. Melting points are all going to be higher than the normal elements. So for example, you see now the trend is somewhat like this. Pick up the last one, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper. So 3D series has the lowest melting points. 4D will have higher, 5D as usual the highest. You can see in these ones, everywhere there is a rise or there is a steady fall. But manganese and technetium, they have abnormally low values. Now this happens because of their half-filled orbitals, because of the crystalline structure, lattice, lot of reasons. No details for us. Now why they have high values, that reason we must know. Most of these elements have close packed structures. Matlab, atoms are very much close to each other, strong metallic bonds, due to which very high energy is needed to break the bonds. So obviously they have high values of melting and boiling points. Any doubt about this? आपको कोई भी ग्राफ एग्जाम में नहीं आएंगे. Graphs are only for understanding the trend. Density is another very simple point. Densities are much higher than the regular S block elements. Reason is the nuclear charge is high, मतलब proton number high है. Atomic size comparatively small है, तो densities are usually very high. अभी देखो ये आपका सीरीज है डेंसिटी का 3D सीरीज, स्कैंडियम से लेके जिंक तक. देखो वैल्यूज इंक्रीज हो रहा है. एज यूजुअल वंस अगेन जिंक हैज एक्सेप्शनली लो वैल्यू. सो अभी सीरीज वाइज आपको याद रखना है कि हाईएस्ट कौन है. जैसे ये सीरीज में निकेल और कॉपर दोनों हाईएस्ट है. बाकी सीरीज में इरिडियम एंड ऑस्मियम they are very high. You can see density 22, that's too much. So these are in fact the most dense element in entire periodic table. So iridium and osmium. इसमें कोई ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन याद रखने के लिए है नहीं. एक तो आपको याद रखना है निकेल कॉपर हाईएस्ट इन 3D, iridium and osmium in 4D and 5D. We come to the next property, perhaps last for today, ionization enthalpy. Maximum questions up till now have been asked only on this property, क्योंकि इसमें सबसे ज्यादा आपको ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं और बहुत सारा चीज सीखने को मिलेगा. First ionization enthalpy value, if you see, they will have values in between S block and P block. Naturally, S block से higher और P block से lower. Reason आपको याद है सब लोगों को. What was ionization enthalpy? The energy needed to remove an electron. Now S block, D block and P block, when you see, atomic radius आपका इस तरह से हो जाएगा. So you are removing electron from here. It is very easy. Difficult, more difficult. So इसका ionization enthalpy will be higher than this but lower than P. That's the meaning of the first sentence. Abhi, just for the sake of observation, we have written here the table of first, second and third IE. Pick up any element IE 1, 2, 3. Tell me what observation do you see? Go through the table horizontally. Tell me what do you see? Tell me your observations.
So the ionization enthalpy increase with the
From left to right.
Left to right, it will increase or decrease?
increase.
Actually speaking, increase or decrease clear nahi hai, dekho.
Yes, sir. It's not
32,
clear.
it's zigzag.
Yes, it goes up and down.
हाँ, reason is configuration. यहाँ पे 632 higher titanium, फिर नीचे lower, फिर equal, very high, still higher, then falls down. The reason is atomic size, electronic configuration. So first thing observation is scandium to zinc, there is no smooth increase or decrease anywhere, attributed to electronic configuration and varying atomic sizes. But one thing is clear, for a given element, IE1 is less than 2, less than 3. 1 to 2, almost you can see it's double, more than double sometimes. So that much observation we can see here. अभी हम लोग बाकी सीरीज कंपेयर करेंगे, तो 3D सीरीज will have the lowest, then 4D सीरीज and 5D. एक चीज ऑब्जर्व करो, 3D और 4D में देखो वैल्यूज कहीं कहीं पे नियर बाय है. इनफैक्ट 3D सीरीज के वैल्यू कहीं पे 4D के ऊपर भी जा रहे हैं, बट 5D सीरीज इज वे अबव एवरीवन. कोई भी एलिमेंट का वैल्यू 3D या 4D के आसपास भी नहीं है, सब कुछ ऊपर है देखो. सो दिस वी हैव टू नो. सो फॉर एनी सीरीज ये ऑब्जर्वेशन हम लोग ने देखा. फिर 3D इज लेस देन 4D, मच लेस देन 5D. अभी ये क्यों होता है, सबके हम लोग को गिव रीजंस देने हैं. So ionization enthalpy are very high between S and P block. First observation. go through this. I have already done this part with you quickly.
And the trend which you showed last time,
Ah.
the 3D is less than, but then there are some exceptions in that.
Of course, that happens because of configuration. कहीं पे half filled है, half filled के बाद एक electron है. So that is bound to happen ना. Somewhere you have 3D 5 4s1. So उसका 4s1 तो निकलेगा. Second आप 3D में से निकलने जाते हो तो वो difficult है क्योंकि half filled है. तो ऐसे हर एक का एक एक रीजन अलग अलग है एलिमेंट्स का. They have not kept that much details for you. So इसलिए हम लोग बोलते हैं कि zigzag है करके, इतना डिटेल नहीं है. चलो इसमें कुछ डाउट है किसी को? This we had already seen this para. Now irregular trend. अभी जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे irregular trend की. The same thing. Here we have atomic number increase, but the trend is not regular. Reason is you are going to remove electron from n-1 d subshell, which is going to have a shielding effect from the nucleus of the other orbitals. So due to this poor screening effect, removal is not correct. अभी उन्होंने डिटेल नहीं दिया है, लेकिन इसका डिटेल कुछ थोड़ा अलग से है. Let me explain it separately. So when you consider suppose some configuration like this, इसमें आपके पास 3d orbital है and 4s है. So when you are having this thing 1 2 3 4 5 suppose 6 like this, तो आप जब इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकालोगे आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी, you will be first removing 4s के 2 electrons. Remember that. Then you will remove 3d electrons which are paired. So जैसे इसमें से अगर निकालना है तो हम लोग हमेशा ये इलेक्ट्रॉन को ही निकाल सकते हैं. We cannot touch any of the single electrons because of the Hund's rule. तो ये निकालोगे तो half filled state मिलेगा. So maybe somewhere you are removing this electron, somewhere you have suppose this kind of thing. So at that time you will not be able to remove that, you will be able to remove this electron. So हर एक एलिमेंट पे इतना सारा वेरिएशन आने वाला है. That's why their energies keep on changing. Another thing, the screening effect, what they are saying is there is nucleus, first principal quantum number, second one, third one, and there is fourth one. अभी इसमें हम लोग के पास 4s ऑर्बिटल है, इसमें हम लोग के पास 3s 3p and 3d ऑर्बिटल्स आर देयर. सो 3d ऑर्बिटल में से हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकाल रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके पहले s और p ऑर्बिटल्स है. अभी इनका स्क्रीनिंग इफेक्ट कंपैरेटिवली बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है d से. दैट इज व्हाई समटाइम्स रिमूवल इज नॉट इजी. सो याद रखो, जो ऑर्बिटल में से आप इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकालोगे उसके पहले अगर s या p ऑर्बिटल प्रेजेंट है, रिमूवल बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट. रिमूवल इज डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज इनका स्क्रीनिंग इफेक्ट, शील्डिंग इफेक्ट बहुत स्ट्रांग है. Is this whole thing all right? यहां तक ठीक है? Don't take a screenshot on all of this, not required. Just remember, ये पैराग्राफ एक बार देख लो. ये क्वेश्चंस है लिखने के लिए छोटे, लेकिन काफी टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज है. So you have to be little careful in writing these things. HSC के लिए mainly.
So can you explain it again? Second point.
See, we are saying that the electron is added in the d subshell, say 3d over here, for example, and the shielding effect happens from the previous s and p orbital. More, there is an increase in the nuclear charge, that means atomic number is increased. So because of these effects, removing electron is not easy, and increase in the ionization enthalpy happens. You see, you can remember it this way also. Scandium to zinc, what is happening is basically nuclear charge is increasing. Also, electrons in the d orbitals are increasing. So because of all these effects, removal of electron becomes tough. Now we are going to explain that why that last series has the highest value in the graph. I hope you remember what I'm saying. ये वाला, ये जो सीरीज था इसका वैल्यू सबसे हाईएस्ट क्यों है बाकी इनमें, that we need to see. Now for that, see this series contain 5d orbitals and it has the highest value. Now remember these series elements come after filling of 4f orbitals. So when I see these series elements, let me show you the configuration for them. The 5d orbital elements have 4f14 already filled. Then they have 5d and then they have 6s. So they are coming after lanthanides. So lanthanides में उनका 4f14 fill हो गया है और फिर 5d आएगा. अभी f orbital का जो screening effect है, that screening effect is very poor. So the electrons will be having attraction towards nucleus. That means these electrons are strongly attracted by the nuclear force. If an electron is strongly attracted by nucleus, removal becomes difficult. ये आया समझ में सबके perfectly clear?
Yes.
Reason number 1 was this. Reason number 2, due to what we call as lanthanide contraction. What is lanthanide contraction? Let me give you in one single line. Cerium to lutetium is a series called lanthanide series. The series starts with an element with this much size. Lutetium has a very small size. So in an entire lanthanide series, the atomic radius keeps on decreasing. Now after this, we are coming to hafnium, tantalum, which is the 5d series, जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं अभी. So ये सब सीरीज का जो एटॉमिक रेडियस है वो भी बहुत स्मॉल होगा compared to 3d and 4d series. So due to small atomic radius, removal of electron becomes difficult. So पूरा का पूरा रीजन, ब्लेम गेम सब 4f14 पर चल रहा है. 4f14 का स्क्रीनिंग खराब है, न्यूक्लियस इनको कंट्रोल कर रहा है, इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकालना डिफिकल्ट. 4f14 हो गया, इसके लिए लैंथनाइड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हो गया, इसलिए उनका एटॉमिक साइज स्मॉल हो गया, फिर से रिमूवल डिफिकल्ट. दिस इज द बेसिक रीजन व्हाई 5d सीरीज हैज हाईएस्ट आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी. थिंक ओवर इट. अगर समझा नहीं है तो बोलो. दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट आंसर, लेट मी टेल यू. Let us read the technical way what is given. Please go through this. We come to the last property of application of ionization enthalpy. We say that a particular element, suppose is showing variable oxidation state, उसमें से एक लेस स्टेबल होता है, दूसरा मोर स्टेबल है. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल फेरस में, आयन में +2 और +3 होता है. +3 स्टेट इज ऑलवेज मोर स्टेबल देन +2. अगर आप कोई भी फेरस का सॉल्ट अगर आपके लेबोरेटरी में रखोगे तो within 1 or 2 months it converts to be ferric always. फेरस सॉल्ट रखना बहुत रिस्की होता है लैब में. एरियल ऑक्सीडेशन होके वो फेरिक बन जाते हैं. तो ऐसे क्यों होता है कि एक स्टेट किसी का स्टेबल ज्यादा, किसी का कम स्टेबल? दैट वी कम टू नो फ्रॉम आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी डेटा. दैट स्टेबिलिटी रूल ऐसा है, लिसन केयरफुली. स्मॉलर द सम ऑफ आयोनाइजेशन एंथैल्पी needed from transition metal to attain a state, greater is the stability. Simple language में, smaller the addition of ionization enthalpy value, greater is the stability. अभी ये समझने के लिए हम लोग निकेल और प्लैटिनम का एग्जांपल लेते हैं. Look at this thing. आपको कोई बाय हार्ट नहीं करना है, just as a information you check. निकेल का अगर 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन डिलीट करना है तो ये वैल्यू है इतना। प्लैटिनम के अगर 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन को डिलीट करना है तो ये वैल्यू है। निकेल के 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन को डिलीट करना है तो ये वैल्यू है। प्लैटिनम के 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के लिए ये वैल्यू है। तो अभी सोचो, निकेल का हम लोग +2 स्टेट देखेंगे और +4 स्टेट देखेंगे। तो निकेल का +2 और प्लैटिनम का +2। तो रूल अभी क्या बताया था, जिसका वैल्यू लेसर वो स्टेबल स्टेट। तो प्लैटिनम का +2 स्टेट अनस्टेबल है, निकेल का +2 स्टेबल होगा। थिंक ओवर इट वेदर यू फॉलोड द लॉजिक।
Sir, can I please repeat?
Whichever state you want to find. Now I want to compare the stability of +2 state of nickel and platinum. So nickel के 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन को डिलीट करने के लिए 2.49 एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड है। प्लैटिनम के 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालने के लिए ज्यादा एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड है। जिसका एनर्जी कम उतना वो स्टेट स्टेबल। सिंपल लॉजिक। मतलब निकेल के 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन हम लोग इजीली डिलीट कर सकते हैं, प्लैटिनम के 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन निकालना डिफिकल्ट है। तो प्लैटिनम का +2 स्टेट अनस्टेबल। अभी +4 के बारे में सोचो। +4 के लिए हम लोग ये टेबल देखेंगे। तो अभी देखो, प्लैटिनम के टोटल 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन को निकालना इजी है कंपेयर टू निकेल। मतलब प्लैटिनम +4 इज मोर स्टेबल देन निकेल +4। अभी इस पर आपको क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आएगा ऐसे टेबल देखे। अभी मैंने यहां निकेल प्लैटिनम दिया है, वो लोग आपको कोई दूसरा एलिमेंट ABCD ऐसे कुछ देंगे और आपको ये प्रेडिक्शन करवाएंगे। तो आपको बेसिकली रूल याद करना है और क्या देखना है, पहला कॉलम और लास्ट कॉलम, अगर 2 और 4 पूछा तो। इज दिस ऑल राइट? यहां तक ठीक है सब लोगों को? परफेक्टली क्लियर?